Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Max is sick. He can't make it tonight, so it's just going to be me. Nice, quick, solo edition of the Degenerate SuperCoach. So we're going to rip into it nice and quick. Scored 12-22. Pretty flat score, guys. Rank didn't change much. Only went down 467. So I'm ranked 10,378. Still pretty close to the top 1,000. I'm only about 200 points off the top 1,000. So this time of year, things are very, very, very tight. So let's get into it. Pretty okay week. Not too bad. My cows fronted up. Obviously got 75 for Robson. Cotter 99. Very lucky with the May play. Having him as my second front row is looking like a huge fire that I need to put out this week. So I will be going over what I'm probably going to be doing trade-wise this week. And it's definitely going to be involving my front row, unfortunately. So had to play Hughes for a 39, which I wasn't too fussed about, to be honest. Angus with the 151. Look, Angus is back to his prime that we know of. So I'm somewhat expecting him to be putting on a Blues jersey. So having him as a round 13 cover isn't likely at this point. Kai Pearce with a 54. Blore with a 65. He just keeps churning out good scores, Blore, and he's going to be well over 600k pretty soon. So if you got him like I did back when he was like 450k, props to you. It's come up Millhouse. Yeah, Firma with a 46, didn't play him. Captain Hines, which somewhat was okay considering the weather. Played Galvin for a miserable 45. Didn't play Tamari Martin, which I was happy with because he only got 23. But I played Armstrong, who only got 25. So my last reserve was between Tamari Martin and Armstrong, and yippee, I gained an extra 2 points by playing Armstrong. So the pissing rain did not help that situation. Mulatalo 37. It's becoming a little bit annoying that they are not going to their leading try scorer at all over the last couple of weeks. I am worried that without Trindle in that side, Mulatalo is not going to be seeing anywhere near as much ball as he should be. So he's definitely a hold. I'm not trading him out, but it's going to be a tough watch, I think, where normally it has been a fun watch. Traded in Karaz with a 48 in shit conditions as well. He's up against the Panthers this week, where I think it's going to be a grind, that game. The Bulldogs will turn up defensively, and I think Karaz is going to get a lot in base just from running the ball back inside his own half. So I'm expecting a lot of points from Karaz purely in base this weekend. Not so much attack, but I think he'll see over 50 in base this week. Dallin, 25, robbed of a couple of tries. He's becoming a painful watch. RTS with a 53. That's pretty much all he's going to give you. Anywhere between 50 and 60. That's it. Played Kyle Iro for 68. Pappenhausen, far out. He would have to be the most unluckiest player in the NRL in the last decade. He just can't seem to catch a break. The man was on 70 something. The man was on 70 at half time. He was honestly on track for a huge score. The way he was playing, he was in everything. And he runs into a fracture above the plate from his last injury. Yep. He's looking at like 4 to 6 weeks. So he is a trade out this week. Reece Walsh with a 51. Yep. Roosters absolutely pumped him. And the Broncos fell apart with obviously injuries to Reynolds and Ezra Mam going to the bin and Mariner, and yeah, it was a mess. But anyway, let's quickly talk trades. Now, I am obviously going to be trading out Pappenhausen, but Pappenhausen to who? That is the question. Pappenhausen to who? Now, I've got 953k in the bank. I can get any fullback I want. So, do I want to pay up for Dylan Edwards? I don't like paying 927k for Dylan Edwards. I do think he gets the Origin fullback spot. I don't believe he is the man to go to. I think you have missed the boat on Dylan Edwards if you haven't got him yet. Turbo, I don't like because he's going into a tough draw and potentially going to obviously be playing Origin as well. Drinky is possibly the best option, but a new option has reared its ugly head now that Pappenhausen's gone. The young kid, Fa'alogo, I probably butchered that, but you get what I mean. He is 330k, I think. And if I am to downgrade Pappenhausen, I can turn a Sam Hughes into an AFB. And that sorts out my front row. Now, I'll quickly have a look to see what it looks like. Now, let's have a look. Where is he? There. Righto. Complete trade. 614k in the bank. I can go Hughes straight up to AFB and still have 252k in the bank. I then, if I am desperate enough, can use my last boost, which I really don't want to. Really don't want to. But if I was to use my last boost, I could fix the 5'8 situation and go Martin up to Dearden. So that way, I have fixed my front row. I've fixed my 5'8. And I've brought in a player who can dead set make 300k in the next 6 weeks before Pappenhausen is due back. Yeah. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I think if I do that, my side is relatively set for a couple of weeks. I don't need to make any trades for the next 2 to 3 weeks leading up to round 13 bye. There is nobody in this side currently that I need to trade out after I use those 3 trades this week. I've got 2 gun hookers. I've got 3 gun front rowers. I've got Angus, Kai Pearce, Paul and Blore with depth in my 2RF with Fermat, Smithies and Burbo now back. I've got Cleary and Hines. Dearden at the 5'8 with Galvin as the backup, who is also a play this week, mind you, against the Knights. Mulatalo, Karaz, DWZ, RTS. Kyle Euro on the bench with May for matchups and Armstrong to make money. And then I've got Reece Walsh and Farlogo. I genuinely don't need to trade anyone out over the next couple of weeks unless an injury happens, but it comes at a cost to use my last boost. Or I just wait a week and use that 250 next week to go Tamara Martin up to Dearden. and miss out on Dearden's potential good score this week against the Titans. So, which I believe is going to be a very, very high scoring game. Yeah, so that is my thought process at the moment. There are some guys who I'm really eyeing off. So like round 13 coverage for me is looking okay. So like if we were to go and have a look at round 13 coverage, so not counting Origin players. So Robson, I believe, is Origin. Cotter's Origin. So we've got May and Henry, which is 2. 3, 4 with Kai Pearce and Smithies. 5, Dearden. 6, Mulatalo. 7, Carraz. 8, Iro. 9, May. 10, Armstrong. That's as it stands. So I've got 2 or 3 weeks to bring in 3 more players to make 13. Which kind of answers my question. Should I boost this week? Probably not. Anyway, let's go over the trades at the moment. So obviously most traded in, Garrick, Asako, Dom Young. For me, Dom Young is a almost number 1 target for round 13 coverage. He's bottomed out in price, 549k. If you can find the funds to go a Burbo to Dom Young, that's exactly what I'd be doing. I don't mind the Brimson chat either. Purely because he's dual. But I wouldn't be rushing out to get AJ Brimson. I had him last year and he was just a pain in the ass. So anyway, most traded out, Smithies I can get on board with. RTS, look, if RTS, I've publicly said that RTS is a trade out because he's got no upside. But if RTS is your main issue in your side, I would love to see your side. Appy, 2,000 people trading him out. He's named this week, so I dare say those 2,000 people will not be trading him out. Dallin, I can get on board with because he's gone cold. They're not, for some reason, Tamara Martin has ruined the flow, the attack that the Warriors once had, in my opinion. I think Tamara Martin's the issue. For some reason, the ball just isn't getting out to Dallin like it used to. And I don't know exactly what the issue is there. But I understand he had a couple of tries denied on the weekend. But during the whole game, he barely saw the ball. So just because he had a couple of tries denied doesn't mean that he's not getting the ball that he used to. 978 people trading out Mulatalo. Again, I'd love to see your side if Ronaldo Mulatalo is one of the main issues in your side. Anyway, that is the side. I just need to figure out whether or not I'm going to boost this week or not. At this point, I probably won't, and I'll just run Galvin this week as my 5'8". Because if I run Galvin up against the Knights, that'll give me, 300k next week to bring in 2 players who will play round 13. So got a couple of questions from the Facebook page, so we'll quickly go over them. Righto. So, Pappy to Garrick. I don't think it would be a good idea to put Garrick down as your fullback spot because Manly's draw is now pretty tough. He doesn't play 13 and he could start to drop cash. Not drop cash, but he could start to leak like a little bit of cash. I'd probably try and keep Garrick in the centre, not down in fullback. And the other question was... Sorry guys, got to try and find the question. Righto. Assuming fullback is fine, what centres should you be looking at? Top 5 at least. Now, my top 5 centres going into State of Origin period will be as follows. Now, there are a couple of centres that obviously are guns, but those centres are going to be playing State of Origin. So you don't really want to be bringing in too many State of Origin players right now. Far out, it's playing up. So round 13, this is where I want to be targeting. So round 13, I think number one target for the bye round is Lomax. I think if you haven't got Lomax and you can afford to bring Lomax in, get him in. Followed by Manu. Followed by Karaz, now that he's back on the wing. I don't mind the... Tago now has bottomed out, in my opinion. You're not going to get Tago much cheaper than 555k. And he plays 13. And number 5 would be... Number 5. If I really had to go for like a pod center, probably go... I'd almost go a Penasini. Moses is due back soon, maybe like 2 or 3 weeks, which coincides perfectly for the bye rounds and the origin period. And I think with Moses back, Penasini is actually going to benefit from that quite well. So he's one to look after, to look out for, because the Eels aren't going to be shit all season. Third question, Paps to Edwards and Bostock to Osako. Yeah, look, it depends on your other fullback, but if you want to get Paps to Edwards and then Bostock up to Osako, that's a lot of cash. Like, you've got 300k from Paps to Edwards and another 300k from Bostock, or maybe 200k from Bostock to Osako. So if you got 500k in the bank there to do that, sure, don't mind it at all. Anyway, that'll do it. I'll wrap it up. Yeah, let us know how you went in the comments. Let us know your trade thoughts for this week and how you're going. And that'll just about do it, guys. Cheers for tuning in again, and good luck for the weekend. See ya.